The topics we discuss are many.
No story too bold to talk about.
Strictly our own opinions.
But they are opinions from people like you.
Welcome to the Nake'd Podcast.
I'm so ready to go back to Cafe Dumont. Hey, it's Keelan.
Buying my coffee from Cafe Dumont online is not the same. Hey, it's Ethan.
Windows finally installed and updated on my new computer. It's your DM Tech Alan.
When you're on PTO for a whole week, it's just so sweet. It's your girl Norma.
Fuck yeah.
What's PTO?
That doesn't show up on my check.
Yeah, PTO is great, and I love it a lot.
Art.
But, you know, with everything that's going on, we're not traveling anywhere. It's going to be like a little staycation, so we're really excited about it.
Fuck yeah.
Our human resource
God,
person
Marvel.
tells me, they're like, hey, you need to use this PTO. You have to.
Is yours use it or lose it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Mine is the same way. It doesn't roll over or anything. It sucks.
I think mine does, but I don't have my PTO yet from my job.
Is it 1 year?
6 months?
6 months? Oh.
Yeah.
At our old company, if you had like 40 hours or less, it would roll over. But if you had up to 80, it would take you down to half because you accrued it based on however many hours you worked.
Yeah. The company I used to work at, I got used to it where if you didn't use any vacation, they paid it out at Christmas.
That's cool.
Damn.
Everybody getting good gifts.
Speaking of getting paid out, we here at the Naked Pod just want to give a huge shout out to Tori for being our first Patreon.
Yay!
What up, Tori?
Thank you, Tori.
Thank you.
You're the best. So supportive. We love you.
I know Tori is my favorite one of Keelan's friends right now.
Tori
She's our number one fan.
Tori is actually my oldest friend. We became friends in the first grade when she had first moved to Henderson. And so, yeah, it's really nice getting to reconnect with her over these last few days. Like we've messaged a couple of times in the past couple of years, but mostly just catch up. Hey, this is my life. Hey, this is my life. And then we kind of fall out. But now we're really getting back into it, and I love it.
Thank you again, Tori. We appreciate you. And if you want to be a Patreon member, just go to www.officialmillennials.com. At the top right-hand corner, there's a Patreon button. It will take you right where you need to go.
Yeah, it might be a little confusing. Our Patreon is under Official Millennials, not Naked Pod, because we do have multiple projects that we work on, like Circle of Jerks and Ya Heard. Did I do that right?
Ya heard. No. It's okay. A for effort.
F for execution.
Speaking of Ya Heard, we are working on getting another episode out here sometime in the next week.
Yeah.
Woo.
The long-awaited
We're going to talk about
return.
mental health. What did you say?
The long-awaited return.
Well, we're going to be talking about mental health. We're going to be talking about my engagement story. We're going to be talking about a couple other things that are near and dear to our hearts, so stay tuned.
And I know Circle of Jerks is coming out with a new episode. When's that again? Next Saturday?
I don't know. Peach keeps changing the date.
Goddamn Peach.
One thing I really like about
Thank you for your support. Oh, sorry.
One thing I really like about Circle of Jerks, what y'all are doing is y'all are interviewing streamers live on Twitch and streaming the interviews. And I think that's so cool. I think that's a niche that hasn't really been brought in just yet. And y'all aren't going for like these high-end streamers. Y'all are going for the community streamers, the people who are growing and getting to know them.
Love.
And
yeah,
it's just so exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Geekers and IronTech. Thank you for being on the last Circle of Jerks episode.
Woo-woo.
Love you guys. And IronTech just recently became a Twitch affiliate.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's bringing in that Twitch moolah.
Go IronTech.
Shout us out, IronTech.
So, on to the show. First things first, we have some bit of sad news that happened up in Austin.
Yeah. I don't know if you...
Yeah, I heard about that.
When I read the story about the shooting that happened during what some people consider a protest, others consider a riot, all I could think of is what Alan always says. Play stupid game, win stupid prizes.
Win stupid prizes.
Because...
So what happened? Like, he was a protester slash rioter.
So, yes. A peaceful protest was happening in Austin, and it went on a little too long, and people started getting aggressive, like they have been in these protests. And there was a car coming down the road. They surrounded the car, and the people inside the car fearing for their lives because one of the protesters walked up, gun in hand, not exactly pointing it at them. It's hard to tell from the pictures and videos. But in those situations, your fight or flight reflex kicks in, and these people decided to fight, and they put 3 rounds into him, and he was pronounced dead that night.
Wait, they put 30 rounds into him? Oh, 3. Oh, I misheard. I'm so sorry.
I heard 30 as well, too, but I assumed it was 3 because 30 is, like, too much. But
what kind of gun was this guy carrying?
So, Ethan, you're a gun owner, and you know how to, like, properly take care of your guns or how to use guns. So, the manner of which this guy was holding the gun, it was intent, right? Is that what you think?
So, we're going to talk trigger discipline and gun safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a gun in your hand, you're ready to use it. That is the rule. Now, the way he was holding it, I would say, was showing intent of using. Now, if I'm carrying a gun on my back or in the holster, that is carrying. If you are holding a gun, finger ready to pull trigger, you are putting out the intent that you are putting out the vibe that you are intending to use it. So
kind of like that couple in Mississippi.
So Georgia. Let's talk about them just real quick. So I don't know if y'all saw the video of them. So the guy, the way he was holding it, he didn't have a good trigger discipline, but the way he was holding it showed that he was ready to use it, but he didn't have the intent. You know what I mean? So he was like, it was pointing away from everybody. It was pointing down. It was across his chest. Now the way she was holding a gun was saying, "I'm gonna shoot your ass." Now,
So what had happened was that there was a march happening, and these people, there are 2 lawyers. They went out on their lawn with their firearms, and there's photos of them. You know, I guess more so the woman.
The signs, they were breaking the law by entering the community in the first place. So by Missouri law, those homeowners had every right to do what they did. And
I still don't think that they should have been holding their guns with their finger on the trigger.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They were very wrong in the way they did it. But evidence came out that her gun was not able to even function. It was a prop gun. So she was pointing at people, and that is the wrong thing to do. You never point a gun at somebody unless you're going to pull the trigger. That's the rule, you know? But her gun was not able to fire at all. So
were the charges against her dropped then?
It's all still pending. Their case is still active. But it did come out that the district attorney ordered the evidence examiner to reassemble her gun in firing order so that they could charge her with a crime.
Oh my God. Why are people fucking up left and right? Like, just be honest. Like, your job is to bring justice.
Not agenda. Yep.
Not agenda.
Stop trying to make people an example. That's the way you run a dictatorship. This is a fucking
democracy.
Yeah. This isn't
a cheerocracy. It's a cheertatorship.
Help! I'm being repressed.
So the shooting in
I didn't
Austin,
vote for you.
You had mentioned before we recorded that there were 8 total shots fired. 5 from outside of the car and 3 from inside of the car.
So initial reports stated that they thought that the guy that was killed fired 5 shots offhand. But they come to find out the official police report from Austin PD says that his gun was not fired. Now, that doesn't mean somebody else didn't fire, some shots or maybe fireworks. Fireworks have been used a lot lately in these situations. Mm-hmm. But any way you approach it, he shouldn't have lost his life, but also he didn't make sure that he was safe, or he put himself in harm's way. And when you put yourself in those situations, bad things happen.
Yeah. I mean, you don't walk up to someone's car, point your rifle at them, even if your finger's off the trigger. That's still intent.
Mm-hmm.
The person behind the driver's seat, if he's carrying, he legally can pull his gun and shoot you if he suspects that you're going to shoot him.
Yeah, I mean, it's also defending your property. Mm-hmm. And I think, being there, she's a quadric amputee, and, he was pushing her, and, his freedom to protest, 100%. It's within our American rights to protest. But, hearing this news or this new information that he was brandishing his weapon with intent to use it, that's inviting trouble. I mean, what if it hit your wife? Mm-hmm. Just thinking about, my own partnership, right? I would never do anything to endanger Alan or my son. I would never do that.
Yeah.
Knowing the different outcomes that could happen.
Even if I was, if me and Keelan are walking down the street, right, and my gun's on my hip, I'm not even touching that unless I'm pulling it to use it. That is gun safety 101. You know what I mean? And he was not practicing gun safety at all.
Bad gun handling is bad. Okay.
You handle a firearm improperly, somebody's going to die. You or somebody else. Mm-hmm. It's just, that is the risk you're taking when you put yourself in those situations.
It's just a really unfortunate event all around, and I think that a lot of lessons could be learned from it. It's Texas, y'all. Most people are packing, number one. And number two, put yourself in situations where something like that wasn't happening. So if I see a crowd surrounding a car, my first instinct would be to leave. Get out of there as fast as I can.
That was one of the issues with that the one guy or the people who have either they got out of their car to try to defend it and get people away, they've been attacked and killed. People who say, screw this, and punch the gas to get out of there, they're getting arrested for attempted murder. So what do? Do you just say, screw it, and, I'm going to defend myself how I feel properly? Or are you going to gun it and maybe kill 3 or 4 people?
No, there's a third option. You de-escalate the situation.
How would you do that?
You reason with people and tell them, look, I'm on your side. I'm just trying to get through.
But you're not
on
you're not on their side, though. I mean, I can say right now, just my experience, if I'm driving down the street and a bunch of Black Lives Matter people surround my car and start jumping on it, I don't agree with their philosophy. I don't agree with most of their ideology. I'm not going to get out and say, don't hurt me. I'm on your side. It's either get out of my way or you will get mowed down.
If they're going to come and attack my vehicle and try to antagonize me, then they are not on my side. They are assuming my side.
I think it's important to be said, though, regardless if it's Black Lives Matter or whatever the case may be, if it's any group of hostile people, how would you react? And when Ethan said, fight or flight, my first instinct is to get away from it, get away from the danger right now. My first reaction would not be to reason with an angry mob of people. And even though I know personally, I have nothing to do with their current situation or their struggle, right? Like, I know personally that I do support Black Lives Matter. I do support the reason why they're doing the things that they're doing. Maybe don't agree with how they're doing it, but I understand it. And at the same token, if it's my life, my fiance's life, my son's life, my friend's life, my family's lives, those come first, regardless. There's a way to do things. No, I was saying, like, going at it from a perspective of trying to be reasonable and de-escalate the situation is noble, but you're a martyr falling on a sword for no reason. They're angry.
Yeah.
Regardless of their message, Black Lives Matter or whatever the case may be, a mob is a mob. Mob mentality is real. I'm not saying, like, you do what you do, but you can't just think about it in the moment. You have to think about the consequences and what's going to happen after. So, say you did that, Eros was in the car. Mm-hmm. What happens if he sees you die?
The scary part is, just on that, if they're going to be crazy enough to attack you, what are they going to do to the car as soon as you're dead? Are they going to set it ablaze like they've been doing? I mean, just last night in Portland, they found backpacks hidden in parks with Molotov cocktails already put in them, loaded AR magazines, as they're shooting fireworks at police officers, blinding them with high-intensity lasers, making them lose their eyesight. Like, these are the issues these are the things these people are doing in these protests.
These aren't protests, though.
We can't say. I think I know where you're going with this, but we can't say that these are all protesters, though.
Yeah.
That's not exactly a fair generalization at all. Because there is antagonizers and there's anarchists who feed on this type of thing and try to make it a bigger deal than it is. And then when maybe fireworks pop off, somebody thinks, "Oh shit, gunshots!" They pull their weapon. It's like a chaos.
Yeah,
is that where you're going?
Yeah. I mean, like Antifa, they're very like anarchist, but it's Dr. Martin Luther King who said protests should be peaceful until they have to get violent. These violent protests, they're not protests. They're just violent people trying to express rage over something that's been happening in their community. And I understand where they're coming from, but being violent does not mean that you're protesting.
You have the right to peacefully protest.
So the only issue with why I don't see these as protests, the people who are being most affected or Black and Hispanic business owners, because it's these crazy white liberals who are burning and trashing small businesses, that is the bloodstream of these small communities. So, like, yeah, we're all against 100%. Police brutality. Like, I'm the number one. Like, I send my dash cam footage of cops I tweet it out all the time. When I see a cop speeding on the highway, I get right behind him. I lay on that horn. I let him know I'm watching. I'm all for let's knock these cops down a peg, but we can't do anything if we're going to act like violent and irrational beings. It's just it doesn't work. And so if you're at one of those protests and people start getting violent and going crazy, and your thought is, well, they're doing it, so I might as well, then yeah, you're part of the problem.
Oh, they go jump off a bridge.
You're part of the problem. Now, if you're at one of these protests and you see that happening, you need to say, oh, hell no. And you grab that guy, you haul him over to the nearest cop, and you turn him in.
I think, too, like, what you said earlier about it's like these white liberals who are doing this. You hit the nail on the head, because that in itself is I don't know how to say it, but it's a white privilege with misplaced understanding.
Misplaced aggression.
Like, if they're doing... Yeah, displaced aggression. I mean, they're doing this to Black and brown businesses. Like, I mean, talking about it, like, we're Latinos, like Alan and I. Like, I try to support Latino-owned businesses. I try to support, like, small businesses. And, I try. So, these are your community. This is your community. These are your people. And it's not whether it's Black, brown, white, whatever the case may be. It's your community. It's where you live.
Yeah. Like, for example, when Norma needs to go to a corner store to go get whatever she needs, we don't go down to a Stripes or a Valero. We go down to the little food mart that we got right here. It's locally owned. We try to support our community as much as we can, and when people are going around destroying communities, that's not okay.
So that's what people always like when I hear people talk about white privilege, right? When I see white privilege, I see you being able to not go to work for 60 days as you protest, what you call protesting, right? I work every day of my life. I come home and work, right? I can't miss a day or my house gets repoed. It's like, it's that simple. You know what? I got to work every day to make ends meet. So you being able to not go to work for 60 days or go hang out in the Chaz or the Chop or whatever it's want to call and not have a care in the world, I don't see that as you struggling or you fighting for the greater cause. I see that as you being lazy and you're taking advantage of the people around you.
I mean, we hit it in the last episode or last couple episodes where we talked about like your biggest impact is at your community level. So get involved with your community. Who's your councilman? What district do you live in? Who's your mayor? Where can you find these city resources?
Texas governor's election will be 2022. And I can tell you right now, I will throw all my weight behind any conservative that wants to run against Greg Abbott.
Josh Abbott for the win.
Josh Abbott all day long.
I heard Matthew McConaughey is going to throw his hat in the ring. I don't know if
he
that's
is
a
from
rumor
Austin.
or not.
He's an Austinite.
No, Matthew McConaughey is from Longview. That's where he graduated high school.
I thought he's. All I know is that he was from. He was in the Austin area when they got him for Dazed and Confused because they filmed it in San Marcos.
Is Elon Musk picked it for his next plant?
Fuck yeah,
So
Cybertruck.
Greg Abbott and Elon Musk threw up the finger at California, and he has his, or he's going to develop a plant here.
So on a side note, did y'all see Ted Cruz's campaign thing he put out?
No.
It was like, just remember when you go to the booth, don't vote for Democrat. It didn't work in California. That's why you moved here.
All right, Ted Cruz, that was pretty clever.
Oh, all right. That's clever.
Well, we talked about Elon Musk moving here and how like it's going to add so many jobs to local economy. So like those people who aren't working, like that's going to be some pretty high end jobs, you know, especially Austin, San Antonio, San Marcos. They're all college heavy towns. Waco, north of Austin. I mean, we have so much youth here to contribute to it.
Yeah.
The only problem that I see is for Tesla to continue its kind of bad publicity. I don't know if you guys heard from the Arizona
Plan?
the Arizona plan or the one over in California is that they've had a lot of issues with people being overworked, with a lot of sexism happening in the workplace, a lot of unfair standards being placed on people who are working there. I really hope that they don't bring that kind of drama here.
I think California has a lot more different laws than us. I know Texas is a right to work state, but I do think that to keep a plant like that, they would have to be on the up and up.
And also, no offense to California people, but a lot of them are pussies. You make them work hard and they're going to complain, so...
I love seeing the videos of California Mexicans versus Texas Mexicans.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
You throw some Rio Grande Mexicans against California Mexicans, and I don't think California would last 30 seconds.
Nah, they wouldn't.
This is like an In-N-Out versus Whataburger conversation.
Yeah. I mean, come on, dude.
Exactly.
Come on. I'm from the Rio Grande. What do you want?
I was going to say, it's like Pancho Villa versus Jose Cuervo or something. I don't
We're actually heading up to Austin this week to pick up a really good friend of mine. We've been friends for 6 years, and we are meeting for the first time. We actually became work friends because he worked at a different site in Virginia. So I'm excited. Alan gets to meet him. We get to hang out this week together. Flying while during a pandemic is never fun. But I will say that he did get tested for COVID before he came. So, phew.
right? That's the biggest thing right now.
I think every other whenever, I mean the biggest thing that we've done this year has been pro lot of nothing. Like, we stayed at home. We canceled our trip to Florida. We've canceled, we had 2 concerts canceled on us. So there's a lot of things that have not happened this year. So I'm really happy that this happens now.
I hope that Elon Musk just stays in Texas full time, since now he has SpaceX down in South Padre. We'll have Tesla in Austin. So Elon, can you please just move to San Antonio so we can all go get a beer? Please.
Fuck yeah.
I thought he moved it to the
But
Galveston
he has to pick us
area.
up, right?
No, they have some stuff in Galveston, but they launch the SpaceX test flight. They're building the Starship down in South Padre.
Yeah, they have a thing over there. I know that a lot of the residents have been complaining about late testing, but they're like far and few.
What
in
did
between, and
Ethan
they
say?
didn't warn them.
Oh, you didn't know that spaceships were loud?
Well, because they had promised like minimal disturbances to the community, like
An advance alert.
advance alerts, exactly. And they didn't get that. They got noises at 3 a.m. waking everybody up, you know?
So they should just do what Greg Abbott does and use the emergency alert system whenever he pleases for random things. And just, Elon, hey, I hacked real quick. We're launching. Watch out.
No, watch out.
So instead of
Or
a Amber-
Elon should pay to have all those houses
Soundproof.
noise. Yeah, there you go. Soundproof. Or higher sound resistance.
So I think it would be a great idea for Texas to invest. You know, we have an Amber Alert. We need an Elon Alert.
It alerts you where Elon is going.
How fast do you think we'll have drones, like, in a couple of years after Elon's been here for a minute?
Straight
It's
up,
gonna be like Grizzle.
Elon for governor 2022. It's already started.
That's like giving, like, a Batman villain power.
We're all good, man.
The question is which one.
He does have the flamethrowers, doesn't he?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
flamethrowers.
it's the Tesla, not a flamethrower.
Not a flamethrower. So when the trucks from the plant in Austin start going into production, how soon do y'all think y'all are going to be looking at getting one? Alan and Ethan.
Oh, very quickly. I need a truck.
Well, I have to wait till the Warthog edition comes out, but yeah, I'll definitely get one.
Ooh. Wait. Is this going to be like Halo Warthog
Yes.
edition?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, we're going to need it whenever we're all Mad Max style anyway, so.
Fuck yeah.
So I wonder, whenever Elon plans to colonize Mars, do you think he'll take the first applications from Texas residents?
I hope so, because I want to be on that first plane.
Yeah.
Spaceship.
I'll be with
I
you. I'll be with
like
you.
it's like I don't care. I want to be an explorer. I want to discover new. You know what I mean? Be the first to see something.
Fuck this planet, bye!
Pretty much.
How cool is it?
Ethan wants to be the first person. Oh shit.
I
Sorry.
know. How cool is it that since 2001, not all humans have been on Earth?
Yeah.
There's always been at least one in the International Space Station.
I was
Orbit.
telling my mom that
Fuck
fun
yeah.
fact. I was like, "Hey, Mom, did you know that since 2001, not every human has been on Earth?" She's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Somebody's always in space now." She's like, "You and your space."
It sounds so futuristic, though. So I don't know. It's pretty cool.
So Ethan, the only reason Ethan wants to be like out in space is so that he could be the first person to piss out of the airlock while in space.
Yeah. I'll pee anywhere. It's cool.
We just watched that Futurama episode where Bender gets, like, launched into space and meets God.
I was God once. I know. I watched.
I saw. And then everyone died.
You did well, and then everyone died.
It's my favorite episode among many.
If you want to listen to the rest of the podcast, be cool like Tori and come over to our Patreon for $1 a month. You can subscribe.
We'll give you all the extra goodies that you want out of a Naked Podcast episode without having to wait till Friday. They release every Thursday afternoon on Patreon.
You can get there by going to our website at www.officialmillennials.com. Hit the button on the top right side.
Sweet.
Everything.
I'm getting ready to start streaming on Twitch, so catch me at Slim Scarlet. I'll be streaming some Spyro or some Marvel Legos because I'm a child and that's what I do.
Fuck yeah.
I'll watch it.
And don't forget to check
Hey,
out
hey.
and subscribe to our YouTube channel where we put all of our streams, all of our podcasts, and anything else that, we can video, we put it on there.
Well, that wraps up another great episode. Thanks for joining us. Find our memes and other great content on Twitter and Instagram at OG_the Naked Pod.
Run over to our website, officialmillennials.com, and you'll find our wonderful blog, some notes here and there from others, and a link to our Patreon, where for $1 you become a patron.
What do we get out of the $1 patron?
All of Alan's love and respect.
I'm okay with that.
And
As
a
long as it's-
handwritten note.
No handwritten note. My handwriting's shitty. While you're on the internet, definitely hop over to our Twitch and Mixer channels. On Twitch, we're Official Millennials. On Mixer, we're Official Mills. We will be trying to do some streaming this summer, so definitely check that out. Maybe we'll have a live show, and I will be doing streaming Mondays and Thursdays over at Mixer and Twitch. My handle is PeachZ90.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can find all of our episodes with a little extra fun mixed in. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, we love you.
This is an Official Millennials production.